Primero, me ducho en la ducha. Luego, me quito la ropa en la ducha. Después de, miro en mi reloj. Entonces, me apuro. Yo lavarme de pelo y cara con el jabón. Por fin, me lavo las manos. Primero, me despierto de la cama. Son las 7 a.m. Luego, me levanto. Después de, me cepillo los dientes. Por fin, me peino el pelo. You ever heard of cells? Not like these things, but, you know, the things that are quite literally in every single living thing ever. Let me explain. Essentially, cells are a basic unit that contains everything you need to be classified as living. Heck, a good number of cells are just living organisms on their own, like yeast and bacteria, while others serve functions as a part of other living things. Everything that lives, including you and me, has cells in them. If you don't believe me, Google is your friend. They're still small, so you're not really able to see them without like a microscope or something, which I don't have because I didn't want to spend like $77 on a microscope for this. They're still larger than atoms, though. Yes, I know it's a completely different day with a completely different haircut, but that's just how life is sometimes. Anyways, first up, we have the cell membrane. It's a barrier that separates the inner parts of the cell from everything outside it and is found in both plant and animal cells. It blocks things that aren't supposed to be in the cell, while still letting essential nutrients and other important needed things into the cell. On an only somewhat similar note, we have cell walls. They aren't the same as cell membranes and are more rigid and found exclusively in plant cells. It's like this phone case. You know, we have the phone right here, and this protects the phone from the outer elements. Next up, we got the mitochondria. As we all know, it's the powerhouse of the cell, but my teacher said we can't say that, so what I will say is it generates energy in the form of ATP, kind of like a generator. I don't actually have a generator, so I scavenged through my things and found this, which is technically a generator. Okay, so I had this crank up light thing that would allow you to use a little crank and, yeah, it would let you see light in the dark if there was no power, but I don't have it. So please take this image as a replacement. How about the nucleus? Not the nucleolus, that's next. The main part about it is that it contains DNA, which I'd say is pretty important. I mean, I'm assuming that you're different than other people around you, but you may be a robot, in which case, sucks to suck. Now the nucleolus. Names are very confusing. This one forms ribosomes and ribosomal RNA, also known as rRNA. Would you believe that there's more things that start with the same 5 letters as the past two? Me neither, but yeah, nuclear envelope. And in case of the nucleus, kind of like a phone case. Come on. Yellow. What do you mean I already used that analogy? Okay, fine, I'll come up with something else. It's kind of like a backpack that contains all your books and stuff, but instead of being a backpack, it's a nuclear envelope, and inside the backpack is the nucleus. I'm running out of ideas. Finally, the last one that starts with the same 5 letters as the past couple is nuclear pores. They're basically the openings in the nuclear envelope. The name says it all for the most part. Alright, welcome to the segment I call Rapid Run. We're going to do a couple of these really fast. Alright, ready, go. Okay. Cytoplasm, it's a semi-fluid material that suspends everything in place in the cell and doesn't include the nucleus. It's like this cargo net in the car, and the nucleus is like some random thing that's secured in by something else. Okay. The vacuole, it's storage. It doesn't have a definitive shape or size. It's kind of like a Ziploc bag. Lysosomes, it's an organelle with a ton of digestive enzymes that help with digesting things, but it's only found in animal cells. So, like these. Okay, geez. That's all for that segment. Now, what's next again? Let's check. Right, the cytoskeleton. It's the internal structure of a cell and controls the shape of the cell as well. Pretty neat, right? It's like, oh god, I'm running out of analogies. You know, this bowl holding the cereal in a bowl shape. Next up, we've got the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Reticulum. Give me a sec here.
Reticulum.
No, it wasn't.
Reticulum.
Reticulum. It looks like a tube and usually doesn't have ribosomes like its rougher cousin, and the only thing that I could find that was a tube in my house was under the sink. It's also the largest and most prominent organelle. What does it do, however? Well, I'm glad the voices in my head asked. Oh, hey, new outfit again. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, it's a pretty big deal in the area of cellular metabolism. It also does lipid synthesis, carbohydrate metabolism, and more. Now, on the rougher side of things, we have my voice because I'm sick today, and also the appropriately named rough endoplasmic reticulum. Unlike its smoother counterpart, it does have ribosomes, and it does protein synthesis and monitors proper protein folding when the proteins are shoveled to different destinations. Think of it as some dude doing some quality control at a factory. Next up, the Golgi apparatus, also known by me as part of the cell with the most confusing name ever. It's basically like a packaging facility, where it basically sorts, labels, packages, and finally transports molecules to their destination. It's pretty important. Remember that word I mentioned a couple sentences ago? It was like ribosomes or something? Well, yeah, those exist and we're talking about it. Essentially, they have a lot of functions and are fairly important. One of the most important functions is the translation of mRNA, which is involved in the process of creating protein molecules. It's like... screw it, factories again. Yeah, I am really running out of ideas today. Well, only 2 more to go, and the first one of those last 2 being the chloroplast. They're only found in plant cells and carry out photosynthesis, which, to put it simply, takes sources like light, water, and other stuff, and makes it into glucose, which is food for the plant. And finally, the final part of the cell that I'm going to cover is the centriole. Only found in animal cells, it's involved in nuclear division. And the only thing I could find to represent that was this piece of paper, and if I split it in half, it has divided. Like nuclear division. Wait. That's the end of the script? I can leave now? I can get out of the room? It's been 3 days. Jesus Christ. Just, You disappointed.